looking at Unit 2, Cities and Countries, and the folder is Growth of Cities. Yeah, let me show you. Unit 2, Growth of Cities. You're going to listen to a lecture, take notes, and answer the questions. As probably your instructor has mentioned, taking notes is very important when you start studying at your faculty. Now, due to our online form of exams, note-taking is not included into your final exam, but we are still trying to improve this very important skill. Okay, so let's go to the handout. I really recommend you not using the handout on Schoology, but downloading it. Okay, so growth of cities. So there is no skill focus, just straight into the lecture. On the first page of your handout, you will see a template for taking notes. Template, it's a kind of scheme or plan of the lecture. We give it to you at level 2 to help you follow the speaker and take better notes. Okay, so when we look at this template, we see that there are 3 parts in this lecture. So at first the speaker will talk about urbanization. Probably you know already what it is, maybe not. Then chart and map, probably the speaker will show a chart and a map and talk about something. So you need to write some important details, some numbers, maybe some cities, some countries. Then he will talk about cities. Again, what kind of cities? What does he talk about them? Yeah, what does he say about them? So write down the most important information. And also, the speaker will talk about some effects and problems of urbanization. You can already think, yeah? So, what are the effects? Yes, there are more cities, but what's the effect? And what can be the problems? So, use your knowledge also, yeah, when you watch the lecture, when you take notes. Okay? So, this is your handout. Where to find the audio? Okay, you need to go to Media Album. The link will be on your course page. Don't worry, it's called Media Album. Listening to. So there are a lot of videos and audios. Growth of the cities. You click on it, and again, I strongly recommend you downloading the audio. Do not watch it on Schoology. It's not a very good idea. Okay, so here is the audio that we've got. I always use VLC to listen to watch. Let me remind you why it is a good idea. There are a lot of media players, but look, when we look here, the playback, you see here on the top, you can slow it down, for example, to 92%, and it will be a bit slower. Okay, so if you really struggle, maybe you can do it. Okay, so here is your video. You can just listen to, no, you should see the chart, the map. Okay, so that's about 6 minutes. Take notes, watch the video, and pause this tutorial. Okay, so you've watched the video, you took some notes. Let me show you the notes that I took when I was watching this lecture. You can find it here in your lesson folder, Growth of Cities Sample Notes. Again, this is samples, okay? It's not perfect. Let's imagine that I'm not a very good student, yeah, but it has some main ideas, main details, And now, when I look at my notes, it's much easier to answer the questions. Okay, so now these are the questions. So now, pause this video and use your notes to answer these questions. If you cannot answer some of these questions because your notes are not very good, then watch the video once again. Okay? So pause the video, pause the tutorial. Okay, welcome back. So let's have a look. So what did you answer? How does the speaker define urbanization? Very simple. Yeah? Oi. Pardon. Growth of cities. Yeah, that will be enough. What is the main message? Yeah, that's a little bit trickier. Yeah, so what he means is that the urban growth will continue. Yes, will continue in the future, both in poor and rich countries. Okay, so this is the full good answer. Now, how many cities were there in 1960s? I hope you remember, yeah, that only 2. And what were they? New York and Tokyo, right? Good. Now, 2014. You heard more than 3 countries and regions, okay? So just choose anything you remember. Yeah, definitely you remember China, definitely you remember India, and for example, parts of Middle East. Okay. Also, he said parts of Africa and parts of America. Okay. Next one. How many cities will be? I hope you got it. 49. Yeah. Now, megacities. He gives a very simple definition. Cities with a population of over 20 million. Right? Okay. Now, what's the population is? Yeah, is. So present population. I hope you remember. 7 million. Next one, Santiago. What environmental problem? You can say air pollution. What is pollution? Hong Kong, Center for Commerce or Finance, is it? Okay. Now, economic effects of growth. Okay. He said that there is a demand for 2 services in particular, that is leisure and entertainment. Okay, and the second, that it is and it will be profitable to invest into food and water. Okay, and the last one, what is the speed? What is the speed? 1.5 million people every week. Yeah, that is the speed. Okay. Now, if you still have some questions, and even if you don't have a question but you just want to look at the transcript, you can find it in your lesson folder. That's just the text. This is the text with answers. But make sure you do this after you've watched this video tutorial. And of course, if you see some new vocabulary, some interesting expressions, yeah, underline them, try to remember them. Okay, thank you.